Hi everybody, and welcome to my back garden here in England. Today I want to show you all the camping gear that I took with me to Patagonia in 2025. For 22 days I camped on the banks of the Illuminae, the Calliafu and the Lemai. I carried everything I needed on my back in two backpacks, an 85-litre backpack that weighed about 20 kilograms and a day pack that weighed about 5 kilograms. So this is my camping gear. By the way, I'm not sponsored by any brands, so anything I say, all my views are my own. Right, let's get started. So this is my tent. It's actually new to me. I bought it on eBay quite recently. It's the same model I took with me to Patagonia in 2025, Sierra Designs, and I really like it. It's a two-person tent, which suits me because I like to have my backpack in the tent with me. I did consider getting a one-person tent, but I just decided against it. The drawback, I would say, with this particular tent is that it's not that light. I think about 2 kilograms. So hopefully I won't regret that. In terms of sleeping, the next really important thing is this sleeping pad. Now, this was a real treat. It's a Big Agnes sleeping pad. It wasn't cheap, and I did quite a lot of research before I bought this, and I thought about the traditional foam sleeping pad. I had one of those before, but I ordered one of these and I do really like it. Like I said, it's not cheap, but it's very easy to inflate, and the main thing about it is that it's incredibly comfortable at night. So for me, I would recommend it. I'm very glad that I bought it. So in terms of sleeping bags, I have this monster which I've had for many years. It's an REI down sleeping bag. As you can see, it's not that small, it's not that light, but it is very warm, and for Patagonia it does get cold at night, so I would just make sure that you have a good warm sleeping bag, and this one did the trick for me absolutely fine. One thing I'd strongly recommend taking is a solar panel, and because it was sunny just about every day when I was there, it will be charging up all the time, so that's something that I would strongly recommend taking with you. That's the solar panel and the power bank. In terms of drinking water, that's obviously a really important one. I did take a water filter, this little Sawyer water filter. It didn't work that well for me, I think because I didn't really have it set up properly. I was using it with a Coke bottle, an empty Coke bottle which I screwed into this end. I then had to squeeze the water through and I'd get the filtered water in the other end. Didn't work great. So I think consequently I didn't use it that much, and I did drink river water without getting ill, I have to say, but I think next time I'm just going to be a little bit more safety conscious. I want to get this working a bit better, and you can get like a collapsible water bladder that fits on the end here, and that'll work better. So I'm going to take it with me next time and try and get it working a bit better, because I definitely don't want to get ill. So there we go, there's the water filter. Onto my cooking setup, I have just a pretty standard little portable stove here. It's, you know, you can get these anywhere, there's lots of different makes. This one didn't have self-ignition, so I just took a couple of lighters with me, two, just to be safe. But I'd probably, if I was buying again, I would probably recommend getting one with ignition. It's a little bit more expensive, and I just, went for the cheapest model. What I did do is I bought this, you see this orange adapter thing. I bought this separately on eBay. It was just a few dollars, and what it enabled me to do was connect it to a cylinder like this one here. This is one I bought in England, but these are readily available in Argentina. You can get them in just about any supermarket. And with this little orange adapter, it just means I could be guaranteed of getting these, which worked well. I could always get these, so that was good news. The only slight drawback I would say with this little particular one is that the flame seemed to be a bit irregular, and I would suspect maybe a little bit unsafe. I don't know, and I don't know if anybody else of you guys out there have had any experience with a little adapter like this. I'd be interested to know what you think. But anyway, that was my setup. You don't have to have those. You can get the gas cylinders out in Patagonia. It's just you might have to go to a specialist camping shop. So that's my cooking setup. Also, in terms of cooking, the other thing that I do strongly recommend is a windshield. As you probably know, Patagonia can get very windy, and with a simple windshield like this one, it just makes cooking a lot easier. And then moving on to cookware, I have over here probably one of my favorite cooking items. This is a 900 ml titanium cooking pot, and it was quite expensive, and I've noticed they tend to be quite expensive, but I really like it and I really recommend you having one. I cooked out of it all the time. I ate out of it as well. It's incredibly light. You can put things in storage wise, and it just worked really well. So again, I would say if you can afford it, then get one. I mean, I used to have just a saucepan and a frying pan, but they were heavy, they were quite bulky. This is just light and just works really well. So that's the 900 ml, which is about right for me. One person, titanium, so it's light and strong. In terms of other cooking items, this plastic storage box was incredibly useful. I just had it, I bought one for the first time last year, and just a standard plastic tub, get them from anywhere. Works really well for storing your food overnight for the next day, and yeah, cheap, but just really useful, so I'd recommend one of these. Then we have the basics: fork, spoon, a knife, pretty self-explanatory, and a mug here. And I basically just have a tin mug, and inside it I have a little scrubber for washing up. And I take a little container, I just put some washing up liquid in here, and a small amount lasts for a long time, and I use that for washing the dishes, and I also used it for washing clothes as well. So that was just useful, and I just put these two just in that mug, and there we go. Next, I have a bit of a treat item, which is this, which is a little collapsible coffee filter, and it's GSI Outdoors is the brand, and it all fits in here. I really like a cup of coffee by the river, real coffee. I love it, it's my treat. And again, it wasn't cheap, but I really like it. So that's just a nice little thing to have if you like your coffee like me. The other thing is I used to take a metal camping plate, which I don't take anymore. So what I have instead is just a plastic chopping mat, which is this one here, you can see it, and it just works. It's very light. I use it as a plate if I need an extra plate, and I can chop things up on it. And I have this very old Swiss Army knife, which I use, sharp knife, which I use to do my chopping, and that works well. Sharp knife, chopping board, which is very light, does the job. Then moving on to this item over here, which is of huge sentimental value. It's a very old kettle. It's 50 years old, and it used to belong to my wife's father, who was a keen mountaineer, and it's just a very old kettle, really beaten up, and I really love it, and I would never go camping without it. And I love my tea, my coffee, so I'm always using this to boil up water, and it works just fine. So there we go. I don't know if you can get these days, but for me, I would never leave it behind, even though it's a little bit bulky. I've also got down here, which I'll just get, these items, and you may be wondering what this is all about, but cotton wool balls and Vaseline, and the reason for having these, and it does work, is for starting fires. A little bit of Vaseline and onto a little bit of one of these or two of these cotton wool balls, just massage together, and you have an excellent little instant fire lighter. Having said that, last time I was in Patagonia, I didn't actually have any fires on the riverbank because there were some major forest fires going on in the area, so it was a bit of a no-no to have fires on the riverbank. Also, actually, I did find that it was useful having a little tin of Vaseline with me because my hands were continually getting wet pack rafting. They got incredibly dry, and I used the Vaseline obviously just to stop my hands getting really cracked. I noticed they were really getting cracked quite badly actually, so it's good just to have a tin of Vaseline with me anyway. Then we move on over here to head torch, just very straightforward. I didn't buy an expensive head torch. I just bought this fairly cheap one. It's not even rechargeable. It just uses a little battery, and I obviously had a spare battery with me, but the original battery actually didn't run out, and yeah, an essential item, you know, for evenings when it gets dark. So a little head torch, got to have one of those with you really. Finally, food. I took some dried food, some staples with me. I took several of these Ziploc bags with essentials in. So actually, let me just grab them all. Yeah, I mean, these bags are a bit on the big side, but one for oats, which I used for porridge, one for coffee, because I love my coffee, dried milk, sugar, sultanas to go in the porridge, and finally good old English tea bags. So that's half a dozen of these Ziploc bags with some essential dry materials which I brought with me on the plane. They are quite heavy, so just have to see how you go with the weight, but for me, I just wanted to have a few essentials with me just in case. And then the other thing that I took as a sort of just in case item was I've got down here 3 or 4 little bags of instant rice meals just from the local supermarket. These are from Aldi, incredibly cheap, not very tasty, but I just took 3 or 4 of those with me from England, and I took them with me onto the riverbank. So just, you know, if I got really low on food, I knew I'd have these, and I did have them. I did eat them basically. And then the final food item, that again was just a little thing that I like. So these little instant hot chocolate sachets, I will definitely try and remember to take those with me next time, because that was just a really nice treat, and I might treat myself and take half a dozen or something like that. Before I go on the riverbank, obviously I stock up on some fresh food which I buy locally, and I take with me this dry bag. I'm not quite sure how many litres it is, just sort of small dry bag, and I normally fill this with some fresh food, some fruit, cheese, salami, whatever, and I might not fit it all in there, to be honest, because sometimes I have a little plastic carrier bag as well. But that is a dry bag that I will take with me. It's useful to have. Just the only other thing to say about eating and food is that obviously there's fish. Some people love to eat the fish that they catch. Me, not so much. I'm happy to put them back, but just occasionally when I'm getting really sick of spaghetti, dried spaghetti, rice, whatever, occasionally I will take a fish and eat it, but that's just very occasionally. To sum up, what I eat on the riverbank is basic, to say the least, and I usually come back from Argentina a couple of kilograms lighter. However, when I'm back in town after a week on the river, nothing tastes better than a glass of Malbec and Argentinian beef on the grill. Please leave me a like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. I've also left a link below to a complete gear list, and keep a lookout for my next video, which will be about my pack crafting gear and other essential gear that I took with me to Argentina. And thank you for watching.